Hello, welcome to Asia Tech Podcast. My name is Graham Brown, joined in the Asia Tech Podcast studio here in Singapore by Emir and Anuar. Emir, welcome.
Yep, thanks for inviting me.
Well, it's great to have you here, a man full of
Thank
energy. So it seems fitting that we're going to talk about health trackers today. So
Okay, yeah.
we're going to talk about Nxsense, we're going to talk about Maia, building an ecosystem for wearables. You're from Malaysia originally.
Yep.
And you're based there, right? Still now.
Yep, in Cyberjaya, yeah.
Cyberjaya. You're over to Singapore for meetings for a couple of days.
Yep.
Heading back.
Yep.
For those that don't know, by the way, if you're watching from outside of Southeast Asia, we are neighbours and we're very close.
Very close. Stone throw away, I would say.
Stone's throw away.
Yeah, you can.
Exactly. We almost speak the same language as well.
Yeah. Eat the same food.
Exactly. Nasi lemak. It's all very familiar to us. So we're going to talk about wearables and your health trackers and your journey as an entrepreneur as well. You know, how that's gone for you, you know, what you're trying to achieve, what's the problem that you're solving.
Okay, yeah.
How did you get into the health tracking space? Were you a fitness freak? Were you a quantified self dude? Were you like, where did all that happen?
It's, I would say it's semi-circumstantial because in my previous job, I was in an innovation group at a big setup, at a big company. And then we wanted to spin off like startups from within, like entrepreneurship programs and all. So there was a guy that pitched to us, to the team, the wearable idea. So I kind of like hook on the idea. I mean, like the mission of what he wanted to achieve. And so yeah, I kind of help him out, and we kind of. Yeah, I just got hooked into it.
Why did you get hooked? What was interesting to you about wearables?
Because most wearables are focusing on fitness, at least when we started out. So what he wanted to do was to have like a wearable that actually tracks your, say, your parents or your loved ones that are not nearby. So it's just a matter of connectivity, whereby you put in like GSM or LTE connectivity within your wearable so that it's always connected, so you know how they are whenever or wherever you are in the world.
But why do I want to track my parents? Surely it should be the other way around, parents tracking the children.
No, you don't track the location though.
Right.
It's just like major vitals and the general health metric. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's,
especially. I mean, that would be valuable to somebody who's a caregiver. Right?
Yeah. Because the inspiration for him, I mean, for us as well, was that his mom got diagnosed with high blood pressure, that damaged her kidneys. But if they know it was a high blood pressure problem beforehand, they would have done something to intervene. You know?
Yeah.
Like, so there are a lot of cases like that, especially in this region with how we are eating, with how we're living our lifestyles and all. So these are bound to happen. Yeah. So we think there's space for a solution like this too.
There's two input factors, isn't there? One is there's a huge aging population in Southeast Asia. I mean, Singapore itself, as an example, and Malaysia is following the fact that you have now a growing elderly population, which really, in the size it is now, didn't exist before. Right? They were there, but not in the numbers, right?
Yeah, and especially the support system is not following the trend. Like, so we have like a lag.
Yeah, exactly.
In the support system for that kind of generation. Yeah.
So I know people talk about robots solving all the problem, but it's not going to be, is it? It's still human beings looking after parents.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And then maybe the second thing as well, you've alluded to it already, is diet. It seems I'm surprised at the number of diabetics here in Singapore, where you sort of assume if you're from outside of Asia, you think that Asians eat really well.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about.
Right. So you talk about diabetes, which it has to be constantly monitored, whether it's like insulin levels or blood sugar levels, or you talk about blood pressure, for example. These sort of input health factors need to be constantly monitored. And often, if you give that solely to the patient, it's a problem, isn't it? Because they forget, or they're old, or they're sick, or whatever it might, or they don't want to. For example.
That's they don't. I would say it's to the extent that they don't care. It's probably because of education, like not education in school, just general awareness of the issues that may arise from living this type of lifestyle.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And for example, diabetes is a lifestyle which can just create lots of problems longer term. Right?
Yep.
And often people are unaware of it.
Yeah, and then it can happen regardless if you're fat or thin.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we assume it's just an American thing, right? Or like a Western Europe thing, right?
They are obviously big, and then
there's a lot of skinny diabetics out there.
Yeah.
And if you look at the food that people eat, it's very much carbohydrate based, isn't it? It's like rice and noodles and, like roti, and it's all carbohydrates. And
carbohydrates, and there's a lot of saturated fat in there as well. So
that's the good stuff.
Yeah,
it tastes good. All right. So what have you built? I mean, let's have a look at the Pitchdeck itself. So we're going to have a look at your solution. So you mentioned to me that you're going through a pivot. So you've talked about, for example, wearables. You're not actually a wearable developer yourself, or the hardware, or are you? Is that where you started? So maybe you can explain a little bit.
We develop the algorithms that run the hardware, but we don't develop the hardware ourselves. Like we have a ODM partner in Nxsense.
Okay.
And I think let me explain the pivot, like the rationale behind it. It's got to do with the wearable market in general, because we thought we want to ride the wave of Fitbits, of Garmin's and all, but I think Fitbit and all, they are not doing that well, especially in this region. Like they don't get the penetration they wish to get. So the wearable space we kind of need to force upon, and we do not have the resources to actually do that. So we took the thinking and switched to, like, rather than start with a wearable, we want to try to start with overall awareness of the healthcare space. So we want to build apps that can collaboratively help you to live better, so to speak. Yeah. So it does things like you do self-logging of your heart rate, of what you eat, of what you do, and then you can create communities where you can compare each other's let's say effort to be better themselves.
Right. So if I was to use this, and this is not just for like old sick people.
No.
I'm one of those. I'm old, right? So this is for everybody. So logging and tracking my vitals, my human KPI, if you like. So what kind of things would I track it for?
For now, it's just what you eat, how much you drink, what kind of exercises you do, how much you do it. You can do like self-count heart rate, or we're integrating it with few wearables too. So like the readily availables like the Garmin's and all. And and then on top of that, you can create groups where you can see where each other are at. So also you can create like a custody relationships where, for example, if you have your parents that you kind of want to know how they're doing, right? So before you ask them to wear a wearable, you kind of like say, can you like log your blood pressure if you measure it? Like there are people that measure it like a couple of times a day, and then when you kind of put it in this app, so their kids can like know, oh, okay, my mom seems okay today.
Right.
Yeah, that's the idea behind it. Yeah, before we impose the wearable on the market. Yeah, we're trying to do that.
So there are a lot of solutions like this. When I say like this, I mean like tracking vitals out there. There are a lot of apps out there. What are you doing differently?
Firstly, the social aspect to it. Like we do not see. I don't think we found a one-to-one comparison to our app yet, to the ecosystem yet. And secondly, the eventual goal that we want to achieve is like we want to create like primary care services where when you introduce the wearable part, the app part, and the services part, you have a vertically integrated healthcare platform. That's our key differentiator.
What?
The vertical.
You're building the platform.
Yeah.
Right, but you're not a primary healthcare provider.
No, we're not. But we're gonna partner with like specific clinics to provide. We're not gonna be like a GetDoc or BookDoc, things like that, where they are just an aggregator for clinics. So we want to work specifically with with some clinics and create a the the vertical integrated the platform. Yeah.
How will you do that?
How? Well, it's hard work.
Yeah, it's hard work the answer, because like surely you must have a plan.
Yeah. We have a plan. Yeah, it's just it's building the pieces on top. I mean, when we have the app in place, if we have the critical mass of users, the introduction of the clinic, we think is quite natural. It's like you keep track of your health, and then if you're not fine or anything, you have an option to I can fix my health here. That's the thinking behind it. So it's like a feedback loop of your health, of your health maintenance. So,
right. So
if you may,
are you going to clinics and getting them using your app, or do you have another piece of software or integration?
That'll be like a clinic site.
Right.
Yeah, we're building the clinic side of the app, so they kind of receive the patient if the user wants to access the primary care service, they have the access to data, the overall vitals.
Right.
And,
Are you storing all that data that the clinic's logging?
No, there'll be a lot of legal issues there.
That's what I wondered.
It's gonna be a lot of it is gonna be local.
Yeah.
And if any, it's gonna be like ask for permission before any kind of sharing.
Okay.
But by default, it's not shared.
Right. Yeah. Because I wondered, because if you start storing lots and lots of patient data.
No, it's
right. But you're not, or are you?
We're not right now. Right. We're not. Yeah.
Okay. So where are they actually logging that then? If the
local on the device.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's on the device.
Yeah. It's on the device.
Okay. For the patient or held by the clinic?
No, for the patient. So if you can access services without giving any data, but if you access if you want more value, you can ask for we can ask for permission.
Right.
You want to share? Yeah, if they do, we can give more insights, for more benefits from that.
Let's jump back to the pitch deck, Emir, and have a look at what's going on here. So a little bit about the product here. Timeline, maybe you can talk us through that. So where are we now in the journey? When did you start the business?
Okay, the whole entire story was it started early last year. So early last year we were focused solely on building a wearable and selling it as a consumer device.
Right.
So what we found out was that we need much more capital than we can get to actually sell even the like pilot amounts of wearables. So we went through a decision where do we want to spend like most of our money on building those capabilities and the stock, or do we want to build an ecosystem first where the wearable can slot in naturally afterwards? So after the discussion with the board and also they kind of asked us to take the solution where you can last longer, which one where you can survive longer, a longer runway. So what we did was we not shelve the wearable but put it on hold. It's there if we want to sell it tomorrow, we can. So we focus on the building the ecosystem first. So we kind of late on this. We're not hitting our July target, but we hit in May target, July target. We're building the health services, and it should be on time in October 2018.
Right.
And afterwards, we hope to sell our wearable by end of this year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you are selling a wearable now, or you're not?
Now, no, not yet.
Oh, okay. Not yet. You just said you're going to help to sell your wearable by the end of the year.
It's readily available. I mean, not readily. Sorry, it's already in a production stage where we can sell. Yeah. But we just didn't order it yet. Yeah. For production. Yeah. Right. It's all well developed. It's all functioning and
right. Yeah.
Because just the delay because of the resources that we need are not there yet. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So where are you focusing your resources now? Are you building the ecosystem or building the wearable?
The not the wearable right now, the ecosystem first.
Right, okay. Yeah. So why does it say here that your upcoming Thailand Maia band, is that sort of to be updated? Because it sounds like that's the wearable, isn't it?
Yeah. It's I think this was I forgot to update this. But
okay, all right.
yeah,
So we know. I mean, we can just be honest and say, hey, I need to update this slide. That's fine. So
it's the initial plan was this.
Oh, okay, all right. So this is the initial one.
Yeah.
The pivot has happened between sending us the pitch deck and coming on the show.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's this should be like pushed probably a month or two. Right. My mistake. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
let's understand, for the purpose of a potential investor watching this, is that your resources right now are focused on building an ecosystem, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if we can just flip back to that timeline a little bit now. Yeah. You started out last year. You have a board. Were you? How many? Do we have a team shot here? Do we have like?
No.
Okay. Who's involved in your company?
We have as in employees.
Everything. Yeah. So I mean, how big are you? How many co-founders?
So at the peak we have 9.
Yeah.
Right now we have 7. Like 2 co-founders.
Yeah.
Like one. I'm the technical co-founder. Yeah. There's a commercial guy, and we have like three engineers, and the remaining do marketing. And
right. Yeah. Are they based in Malaysia?
Yeah. We're all in Cyberjaya.
Okay, so you're based in Malaysia, and how have you funded it up until now?
It's I think I mentioned that we started as a entrepreneurship program within a big setup. So they provided a seed funding.
Right.
Where we.
What was the big setup that you're part of?
It's is it there?
Well, you tell me.
Do you know High Tech Padu, Berhad?
Right, I've heard them. Yeah.
Yeah. So we wanted to the company wanted to venture out into like startups, like new ventures other than their old businesses. So so when they gave us a seed venture, we seek out like new outside investors. We found a guy that was willing to become our angel, a doctor. Mm-hmm. He was intrigued with the idea of tracking the vitals, building this ecosystem. So he was willing to support us.
Right.
So to date, we raised a seed of in Sing dollar, it'd be about 300,000.
300,000. Yeah. So you had one angel investor. You went through two angel investors. You went through a program. Was that an accelerator program?
It's supposed to be an accelerator, but it's a kind of informal one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you graduated that. You got So you funded it with 2 angel investors.
Yep.
You bootstrapped it as well up to that point. And what about now? Are you raising at the moment?
Right now we're not right now, but we are prepping the grounds for like we're planning to actively seek in 6 months to 1 year from now.
Right.
Yeah.
And what would that be? That would be a top-up round?
It's a pre-Series A or Series A kind of size.
Right.
Depends on the trajectory of where we can scale our app.
Yeah.
So we're not set on the amount yet. It depends on our requirement in 6 months' time. Like. And
what would be that? What would it be for?
Mostly expansion, like marketing and. Scaling up. Yeah.
Within what markets? In
for
Malaysia?
Malaysia. For now, just Malaysia. We because of the intricacies in the healthcare, the primary care services and all. We don't want to explore markets that we don't understand yet. So So for now, it's going to be Malaysia first,
Right, okay. So what happens between now and your next round? What do you need to get right? What are the check boxes that you need to focus on?
Building user base.
Users being... the end user of the app?
End users. And then we want to get people to... uses the app and uses the primary care service.
Right.
Yeah. So that needs to be at a certain level before we take any further action.
Okay. How do you acquire those users?
Right now, in Malaysia, it's the consumer are quite tech savvy in a way that not tech savvy per se, but social media is I would say the primary way to effectively get users. So.
Right. It's the same everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. And then I think in this region, you have a larger percentage of people that uses only mobile phones, especially social media, for access to internet. So what we're doing is that we're developing content that supports healthy lifestyle on and disseminate through Instagram and Facebook,
right,
and then uses them as hook to our app. Yeah,
okay.
that's the plan. Yeah.
What do you find that works for you in that? Because especially on Instagram, that's quite new for a lot of brands, and to get that right.
Instagram seems to be working better than any other platform in especially in this region. I think a lot of brands are using Instagram as their primary way of communication.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know anywhere else in other than this region, but in Malaysia there's a lot of Instagram shops.
Yeah.
Where they don't have any online presence anywhere else other than Instagram. So you list like a phone number there. So people just go and buy. No, I'm saying this is because the level of trust people have on Instagram, the level of time they spend. Yeah, they even do their major decisions based on like Instagram accounts, Instagram postings and all. So we want to try to like capitalize on that fact. Yeah.
So you're looking for people to use your app, and then you're recruiting them effectively, acquiring them through Instagram.
Yeah.
And so if you're doing it through Instagram, as much as it seems to be developed, the challenge is that, you know, you've got to, I suppose, well, if you go through the traditional paid advertising model, you've got to hire the influencers, right? You've got to pay the advertising of the influencers. Yeah. What are you doing? Are you doing organic marketing, or are you doing paid advertising?
Right now it's a combination of paid advertising, stories, you know. But we are actively developing our influencer strategy on Instagram too.
And how do you do that?
It's
but what's the key? Because the health must be saturated with influencers, and
it's saturated, but there's a pattern to it. What we found out was that there's like there are people that does that to sell their products. Like I know there are Herbalife resellers,
right, of course.
that kind of that kind of like wrap around their services. So wrap around their products around like
everything.
Yeah, weight loss services, things like that. Yeah. So we tend to find that the casual runners, citizen runners, like or just simple people that kind of snap everything they eat in a beautiful manner, to be quite a good spokesperson for this type of products. And we don't have a definite answer for this yet. Still playing around with things, but those are the things we're looking at. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good. And how about your team? You mentioned that there's 7 of you now.
Yeah.
You're expanding at the moment?
Right now, we want to hire like 2 or 3 more. Like probably one more developer and 2 more marketing people. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. In Cyberjaya?
For now, but we are actually open for remote working. You know,
right.
we haven't got any experience on that yet. But it's
not a no, but it's a possibility. If somebody came with the right idea, maybe they have to pitch you out that idea.
Yep.
Well, what are you looking for in terms of the mindset? Because I don't know how it compares, but Malaysia must be tough getting talent now, because there's a lot of startups now, a lot of people looking for startup talent.
That's true.
There's always a shortage of startup talent, I think, as well. There's a lot of people who want to work for a startup. Of that, there's a subset of people who are mentally set out to work for a startup. There's a smaller group, right?
Yeah, you are spot on. Yeah, because you cannot hire a guy that gets a job offer from Petronas, for example. Like you just can't. So we kind of have to like. There's this person that we managed to hire last year. She was in university when we seek her out. So we kind of.
Oh, she was an intern?
No. She was in university but graduating. So I think what we found out is that we need to pitch to them the value proposition. It's like pitching to an investor. So that's, I think, is how you attract talent. Yeah.
Right. So you pitch to talent, employees, potential workers in your team in the same way you would pitch an investor.
It's probably it's probably reverse of the usual hiring process for big companies.
Right, exactly. So how do you pitch that to a potential employee team member? What is your pitch to them? Because you can't pitch them on a better pay package or benefits package than Petronas, for example.
It's about the the overall mission, do you want to like build something that may be of significance to people? Like, I mean, that sounds cliche, but to some, that's quite powerful, because if you go to work to Petronas, for example, you just a dot, a blip in the grand scheme of things. But if you join, like, say, us or any other startup, what you do impacts everything. It affects everyone. So there are people that are attracted to that kind of pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
So that one of the things.
I think it's an important point for startup founders, is that you mentioned some people are attracted, and that's the key here, is that you don't go out and sell to everybody.
Yeah.
Because
true,
you're not going to be successful.
That's true. Yeah.
Some people want exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
And those, even though they're a percentage of the market, let's say they're 20% of the recruitment market, right?
Yeah.
Sell to the 20% rather than the 100%, because you can really then focus all your laser beams and your energy on that 20%, right? And just get that right. And not edit yourself to everybody else.
That's true, yeah.
That's really important for a startup founder.
Yeah. And then another thing, it's you kind of need to spend a lot of time like browsing through resumes. Like I cannot say for sure which the formula of the correct people to hire, but you kind of know when you see one. Like, it's I can't explain that, but
exactly. Sometimes your gut reaction is the best one. How do you go out and pitch that? Because do you go to these job websites and then put your ad up there, or do you go to universities, or do you go to startup events? What's the answer?
I think the best for me is just spending time browsing resumes. So
where do you find these resumes? Like on
Job Street. Yeah, it's because when you have listing, you kind of have like access to their you can do the search. So it's just a combination of just putting the effort and luck.
Right. So you're browsing through the resumes, and then you find somebody who looks interesting.
Then I just shoot an email.
You just say, hey, look, I've read your resume. This is what we're doing. If it interests you, be in touch.
Yeah, that's the.
So, how do you identify that from the resume? Because one of the challenges for founders in startup world is that resumes don't often contain the information they're looking for. It doesn't tell me that this guy is willing to put a dent in the universe. This guy is willing to put in the effort and do the hustle. It says like they were really good at school. They were played for these teams. Is there something you look for?
Not academically, as in not academic in the sense that I don't tick the boxes. It's just it's maybe a holistic thing. Like you see the combination of things that this is interesting. It might be worth to have a chat with this guy or girl there. That's. I don't have a definite answer to that question. No, I don't think anybody has.
It's hard, isn't it? I mean, I recruit as well, and often my attempt at that answer, and it's not the right answer, is that. And I'll share this with any startup founder and be interested to hear their feedback, is I do look at the resumes. Obviously, I'm interested in the academics, only just to see that, they can read and write.
That's
basic.
Sure.
That gets them into the playing field. But I would look at the resume and say, what has this person done outside of where they were told to do stuff by their teacher or their parent, or they were paid. So on their resume, there's a part somewhere where they've done something, they've created something, they've gone out and hustled, and they built something, whether it could be a YouTube channel, it could be a project, it could be some activity or some club that they've started, whatever it may be. And I look for that because they didn't get paid, and their parents didn't say, hey, you've got to do this, or their teacher didn't say that. And for me, if that person's doing it anyway, then it's going to be a lot easier for them to kind of build something big without saying, well, I'm here just because you pay me, right? So that for me is a telltale sign. It's difficult to find because we're trained to write resumes, the 90%, and then there's there's 2 lines at the bottom. It says, this is what I did in my life, right, outside of work and school.
That's actually a good approach. As in, those that do beyond would probably carry that trait into your startup too. So
exactly.
Actually, that's a brilliant thought.
There you go. That was free. So Emir, you're 28 now?
Yeah, I am.
All right. So you're an old wise man. Not as old as me, actually, but probably wiser. So you're sitting. I want to ask you the question of the day, which I'm asking all the founders who sit in front of me today. Is that you imagine sitting with your 18-year-old self? Who was younger and naiver. And what would you offer as advice, career advice, to that Emir starting out because bear in mind, you've got 10 years of mistakes now behind you, which has put you in this position.
Yes.
And very difficult to know at 18 what you want to do. But people are faced with questions like, do I go to college? Do I start a startup? Do I travel the world? Do I work for Petronas? Do I get my accountancy, CFAs, and all this sort of stuff? Is there any advice that you would offer to somebody in that situation about how they could kind of like make the right choice?
I would say have goals, but be flexible. Like you sometimes it's not ideal. You can't live your dream or anything, but you need to carry on. So when I was 18, for example, I graduated in aerospace engineering. I really wanted to like design planes. That's it. But being a Malaysian and all, that's not realistic, because there's no opportunity for you to actually do that in this region. And so one mistake that I did was not being flexible enough. So if I were to be more flexible, I would look at the trends and probably pick up things earlier, like pick up programming way earlier, pick up like pitching skills, communication skills. A lot of those I missed out on my university years. I had to like develop after I graduated. So have goals, but be open about it. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's, I think,
So like with yourself, being passionate about aerospace and building and designing planes, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the flexibility side is, I'm really passionate about building and designing, but the flexibility is it doesn't have to be a plane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right?
You are spot on.
Actually, I don't get a lot of opportunities to design planes.
Yeah. No, I mean, even if you're American, for example, you want to design plane, then even then you're not gonna be afforded with that kind of opportunity. Yeah. I mean, you kind of need to be flexible. Yeah. I think that's the advice I would give to my
good advice.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that today, and thanks for sharing your story today as well.
Thank you.
And it's been a pleasure listening to you, and wish you all the best with your ongoing journey. It's a never-ending journey.
It is.
For those people that have listened to your journey and are interested in being part of it, whether they are those people who want to join your team, potential investors, potential partners, however it may be, what is the most effective way to reach out to you and be in touch with you?
I have my email.
Yep, like, we'll put all that in the show notes.
Yeah. My email will be, I'll check every single one. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yep, that'll be,
Email, old school. It works.
It works, it never fails, yeah.
Emir Anuar, everybody. He's the co-founder, director, CTO of Nxsense, and obviously we've seen him in the Pitchdeck Maia as well. So wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Keep us in the loop and updated on your journey.
Thank you so much.
And wish you, the ecosystem you're building, there's lots of potential partners out there. So please feel free to reach out to Emir, whatever part of the world you're in, because I'm sure there's interesting knowledge share there as well.
Yep.
Excellent. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you.